Hey guys, here we are again, and I'm bringing you a deck today that's good in both PvP and PvE. I've mentioned it before a little bit. It's really popular. I don't know exactly where it came from. Virtually everyone's using it. Even DK's made a video about it. It got really popular in the last KC Cup, and it's really run away. It's pretty much just an anti-meta little straightforward synchro deck, but why I've decided to make a video for it, it's actually really decent in the current raid event we're using for the Immortal Earthbound monsters, because these synchro monsters can get up to really high attack, and synchro monsters are virtually what you want to use for this event. So I've gone ahead and mixed up the replays a little bit of one little raid replay and then the rest in PvP, but it's just a really good little anti-meta deck. You have things like Bionic Dragon to return to hand, Armades to ignore back row, and Archfiend's Claw is he can't be targeted. So you get these monsters who react well to the meta, and then you buff them up with this card called Battle Tuned. You remove from play one tuner monster from your graveyard, target one face-up monster you control, gains attack equal to that monster's attack. And it's not just for that turn, it's permanently. So you build a huge Archfiend's Call up to like 4,400, and then he can't be targeted, so they're trying to swing over him. It makes for a really hard puzzle for your enemy to have to work with. Works against things like Dark Magician, who really rely on targeting. It's just a really straightforward, decent deck, guys. And like I said, in the raid duels, you're trying to pump out as much damage as possible with synchro monsters, and this just does it. Other than that, a lot of this is core. This deck was made possible by this monster, Angel Trumpeter. It's a little plant tuner, so when you use what grows in the graveyard, obviously Dark Verger's going to special summon when you normal summon it, and that's how you make your immediate level 6s with this level 4. So that's pretty much core, is the two tuners, Battle Tuned of course, more attack modifiers. Painful Decision is just more copies of our Trumpeter, and then it's just staples, guys. Lots of room with staples. So if you don't have these staples, obviously just use something else. I'm sure you have some Cosmic Cyclones, and it's just whatever you want. You use Wall of D, you can use Sphere Karibos, whatever staples you want. You just mix it in, react to the meta, and all that kind of stuff. But I hope you guys are working hard on the raid event, because the reward is actually pretty good, and it's really hard to get right now. Maybe they'll make it easier as the event progresses, but it's really hard to get right now. So work hard to get it, because it is a good monster. Other than that, I'll show you a little ways to farm it, show you some replays. Hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Okay, so here we are in a turbo raid duel. So now turbo duels are how you do the massive damage, because you'll start with a synchro depending on who you're using. So we're using Akiza, we're going to get Black Rose. Now, the Signer synchros do 4 times the amount of damage, so it's really high up there, and works out pretty well. Here it's Black Rose Dragon. The opponent doesn't really have too many plays. He summons a 3000 synchro monster sometimes. Here we use Painful Decision to thin our deck a little. We use our Trumpeter. We'll probably make a Bionic Dragon so we have means to keep removing monsters from the field. We're going to set our Regeki Break. We probably should have set the Floodgate instead. You can see massive amounts of damage here. You really want to save your turbo skill to about the 3rd or 2nd round, because they give you a Miracle Dragon or something ridiculous, and it does an insane amount of damage, so you want to make sure you really have that boost for that monster. Now here's the bread and butter in Battle Tuned, guys. It makes your monster so strong. We do it on the Black Rose, so it can just pump out, look at that, guys, almost 13k in one swing, 4.6k right there. Now remember, I'm just saving all my turbo points or accelerator counters, whatever they're called, for the Miracle Dragon they give me. Now this is about the best play beyond the Earthbound Immortal that this guy has, is the Sun NT. He's hard to get rid of, all sorts of good stuff. So here we get that boy. You're gonna see this Miracle Dragon, we bump him up, or Majestic Star Dragon, sorry, and we're going to use him to destroy the Inti, because the Inti would kill us in any of these monsters, because you take half the damage of your current attacks. So these attacks are massive, it would destroy us. So we're going to use him to swing first, do 80k. Now we're going to use his own effect to negate the Sun Dragon's effect. Now we can swing with our Rose Dragon for another 64k to do just an insane amount of damage. And we had even more turns to keep pumping out hundreds of thousands of damage. So it helps you really farm these big monsters really fast. Try the deck out, guys. And It's not just this, it's PvP too. Great stuff. Okay, here we are facing a Yami Yugi. And you gotta keep in mind for these raid events, you have to use 5D's characters, so it works out pretty well. So Battle Tune is the card you really want in your hand. It's what makes this deck so killer, because our tuners have such high attack. This Angel Trumpeter has 1900 attack. That's a lot of attack to slap onto an Archfiend's Call, and it's a quick play, so we can use it as a battle trap against our opponents. Here is probably what this deck was fighting super often in Elemental Sabers. He has the Lapalia to stop our Battle Tune, but we're going to be able to get around it just fine. We bring a second Archfiend's Call so he can't target us. He can Concentrating Current his own boy. Luckily that's only 2500, and we get to Battle Tuned into a 4.4k over the boy's face. Great stuff, guys. Okay, here we are facing a Paradox Brothers. Whoops. Trying to fix this. Much better. It's hard with 30 card decks, changes how you display the deck a little bit. Anyway, we're fighting a Paradox Brother. No Battle Tune in our hand this time, but he sets a Field Spell, which is a really weird play. You don't really know what to anticipate. I obviously know what it is in Ancient Gears, but when I'm making this turn I had no idea what it was, so I go Arching Calls first. We hit a Glow Up Bulb. We set a Concentrating Current, Fiendish Chain, and I believe another Concentrating Current, yep. Our opponent uses Ancient Werven. We don't Fiendish Chained it. He goes into a Synchro of Amatrix. Now he puts Power of the Guardian on that Amatrix. Now we're going to Fiendish Chain in the battle phase. We have plenty of outs. Even if we didn't top deck this tuner, we had this tuner who could build an Armades, and then he wouldn't be able to activate Power of the Guardians. We'd swing right over him with Concentrating Current, and he'd be a dead monster anyway. But we 2 top deck this level 4 monster, so we're able to go into a level 6 Synchro, which is a Bionic Dragon, which is going to be an even easier play to remove this monster. Swing for lethal. We didn't even touch our 2 Concentrating Currents, so we had bullets left in the chamber. Nice and easy stuff, guys. Okay, here's Yami Yugi. We're going first. What grows in the graveyard? Power of Dark. He's using 21 cards. Like I said, you just want to see Battle Tune in your hand. Here we're going to start with our Armades, because that's what Junk Synchron is for. And we like all these back row. You're really safe with all these back row. So our opponent is in fact Dark Magician. Uses the Magician's Navigation Search. Sets 3 back row. We get to Cosmic Cyclone, a bad aim. So he has what is most likely a dead Navigation. Bad aim probably would have been pretty well, but it couldn't have really done anything. We Battle Tune our Armades up to a permanent 3800 Armades. We had a second Battle Tuned, but no tuners to use it. So this deck plays PvE, this deck plays PvP, guys. It's a nice little simple deck. It's just so simple. You do 1 Synchro play with what grows in the graveyard, then you just have nasty staples to do it, and just keep Battle Tune. You don't even have to really run Concentrating Current if you don't want to. Just fill it with the staples you want, guys, and it's going to be competitive. It's a real easy auto-duel deck if you need to auto-duel. So it's nice and easy and lazy and simple. So try it out, guys. It's affordable. Run away with it. Thanks for watching.